Good afternoon. Today I would like to talk to you about how the modern view of masculinity is corrupt and wrong. So often I see online people explaining masculinity as something where you have power for yourself so that you can have more power than other people, so that you can have more money than other people, have more women than other people, and it's all about having more and having better things than other people, having a better physique, having the strongest muscles, everything. Everything is about a comparison when it comes to modern masculinity. Whereas I believe modern masculinity should be about the providing for others. I see these masculine traits about having having a lot of wealth, having a perfect muscular physique, having the ability to do whatever you want with women, all these things. I see it as a satisfaction of primal animalistic instincts. Because if you think about it, they're all these three things I mentioned are all traced back to like something an animal might do so that he can keep himself alive and to uh, prolong his species' future. And granted, it's all these things can be good in moderation, but the problem is that they're not kept in moderation and they're blown out of proportion. Because in modern times, why do we need so much money? I mean, yes, things are expensive these days, and the amount of money that one does need to survive just happens to be a lot, but I'm talking about excess. I'm talking about having money for the sake of having money and telling people you have money. It's like I see it similarly to like a gorilla storing a banana hoard or something like that, where it's like you have all these things like so that you can like be prepared and so that you can uh, have the resources to survive. But then at a certain point, it's not about survival. It's just your instincts tell you that this is what you need to do. You need to have all this money just to be safe. But then the just to be safe kind of falls off, and it's just about having money for the sake of having money. Same goes for being strong, having a good physique. It A lot of that is like about intimidation or comparison to other men or being attractive to women. It's all about these things that are ultimate or ultimately can be very unhealthy. I'm not saying I'm not saying being strong makes you intimidating and that it's wrong to be intimidating. You can't control how somebody else feels about you, but when you're doing it for the sake of having an imposing figure so that you can be intimidating towards others, that's when it starts being blown out of proportion. Or if you're doing it for purely the attraction of women and prideful reasons alongside with that, it becomes unhealthy because what is there actually to love about you other than your physique? And then when it comes to masculine culture regarding women, I see that as one of the worst examples of the falsification of masculinity. It's um, because ultimately, in instinct, yes, we don't have this. We don't have it wired into us that we're only supposed to have one woman to be with in our life. It's Our instinct tells us to reproduce, to have as many offspring as possible so that we can perpetuate the human cycle. But the pleasure that is derived from satisfying that instinct does not continue into the continuation of family, of the family line, the bloodline. It doesn't continue into that, as people just do it for the sake of pleasuring themselves. And it's not anything about why we have those instincts. It's taken away from nature. It's taken aback. So I bring all this up to just show you that uh, what why should you behave in these masculine behaviors? So why should you put yourself with that image when it's basically just animalistic instincts and there's nothing human about it? Now, I would like to show you or explain to you a more positive view of masculinity where it's not all about oneself, how people view you, or how people are intimidated by you. Nothing about yourself. It's, in fact, the opposite. I believe that this falsehood of masculinity is all about taking in for the betterment of oneself, whereas positive masculinity is about providing for others. Because look at the life of a father. A good father is going to be one who does provide money. He provides money for his family and himself, because it's not wrong to provide for yourself, but a father will have a job, make money so that he can take care of himself and his family. And the list doesn't stop there. You can provide for anyone else you want. He's not doing it just so that he can have the money. Now, some fathers may have that mentality, and that's why many young people don't have good father figures, is because perhaps the man is thinking of it all about himself, where he's having the money so that his house can be the best. Or maybe his mentality is that he wants his family to look the best. Not saying it's wrong for your family to be good or to have or to like be noticed as good, but it's like putting on all these facades and hoarding away money so that your family can appear to be better than other people's family. That's all bad fatherhood, bad masculinity. And then along with a father being, or just a man in general being physically fit, it's healthy to be strong, to be uh, able to protect oneself and one's family. There's virtue in having a good physique. It's not for the sake of having a physique, though. When you're going to the gym, not as something, not for healthy reasons, and you're doing it out of pride so that you can be better than others, that's a corruption of what it means to be strong. To be physically strong is, like I said, about protecting oneself, defending one's family, and not about this. And ultimately, that's why women, like in nature, are attracted to a man who has a strong muscular physique, is because it shows that he can defend himself, he can defend her, he can defend a future family. That's why that's a innate instinct for women. Now, and ultimately an innate instinct for men, because they realize the more powerful they are, the more likely they'll attract a woman, the more likely they'll continue their family. Now, and like I said, all of this is good in moderation. And like all of these things about having money, having good appearance, having muscular physique, having women, it's all derived from a good place, but it's corrupted and demented into this thing where it's all about oneself and all about taking in the pleasures of all these things for oneself. And people so often forget what providing means. Now, I would like to talk about like more healthy masculinity. It's like you work your job and provide for those you love rather than taking in whatever you can get. That's how I see this modern portrayal of masculinity. It's all about just taking in what you can get, whatever you can get, doing whatever you can to be better. And more traditional, more positive masculinity as just solidly providing a foundation for life for those you care about. All right. I've been John, the caffeinated philosopher, and I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next time.